Today I want to talk about fake news. But first, let's talk about the importance of media. For a democracy to survive and to thrive, it needs a non-partisan media that holds the government to account and keeps the citizens well informed. Fake news, for me, is the intentional omission of facts in order to promote a particular narrative. I've lost track of the number of times I've contacted the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation to share my concern about the omission of facts, especially in reports that come from the Middle East. It's like listening to the play-by-play of a hockey team, but only hearing it when the puck is in the opponent's side of the rink. During the last election in Canada, the Liberal Party promised more money for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, which is publicly funded, while the Conservative Party said they were going to reduce the amount of money going to them. Needless to say, there was a liberal bias at the CBC, and why not? They were protecting their paychecks. Perhaps if the CBC had done its job, fewer people would have voted for people kind Justin Trudeau. But the real danger to a democracy occurs when the media is so biased that they throw the public off track. And I'm thinking about the American election in 2016. Millions upon millions of people were absolutely shocked, gobsmacked, that Hillary Clinton had lost the election, that Donald Trump had won. And why not? Mainstream media had assured them and reassured them that Hillary Clinton was a shoo-in. Now, if millions upon millions of these Americans had taken the time to read media that were right of center, they would not have been shocked. I, like many other journalists watching both sides, predicted that Donald Trump would win. The mainstream media continues to do a disservice in America by promoting one side. They have encouraged the idea that Donald Trump won the election by deception and have talked openly of removing him from office. This is not the purpose of media in a democracy. This is how media acts in banana republics. Just as disconcerting was watching journalists cry on election night. I have absolutely no interest whatsoever in the feelings of journalists, ever. Their behavior that night and for days following was unacceptable, and they all should have been fired. They certainly do not represent the ideal of journalism, like Chet Huntley and David Brinkley, Peter Jennings and Walter Cronkite. I'm old enough to remember when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I was watching Walter Cronkite, the anchorman for CBS News. He was in a very small, plain room. There was very little on his desk. There was a report, though, that had just been brought into him. And we watched him as he looked down, and he was reading the report. And he took his glasses off, and he wiped the lenses while he read this report, and then very slowly put them back on. And he announced to the American people, "The president is dead." And then he looked up at the clock that was just over his right shoulder, and he came back at the camera, and he said, "The president died," and he gave the time from Dallas, Texas, and then he repeated the time from New York, Eastern Standard Time. He then stated again, "The president is dead." No tears, no emotion, just those plain, horrible facts. So now I ask you, where have all those journalists gone? Long time passing.